Created by David Jaffe at Sony's Santa Monica studio, God of War is an action-adventure game released in 2005 on PlayStation 2 console. Since then, it has become a flagship for the PlayStation brand and is one of its best games. The game is based on Greek mythology and the plot revolves around a Spartan warrior, Kratos, who later defeats the Greek god of war, Ares, and becomes the new God of War. There are different levels in the game with several other side quests. The picturesque backdrop of the Greek era is beautifully animated with some brilliant characters, not to mention dragons. The dragons are associated with a quest and sometimes requires the player to accept the quest before it could be found at all. These huge creatures belong to Midgard realm and had a face that resembled those of Ceratopsian dinosaurs. In today's video, we will explore all the dragons that appear in God of War 2018. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like the content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin.
There he is. Or she is? Are these boy or girl dragons?
There are a few ways to find out.
Reginn. According to Norse mythology, Reginn was the son of Hræzlyr, Sigurd's foster father and the brother of Fafnir and Otyr. When Loki mistakenly killed Otyr, Hræzlyr demanded a huge amount of gold to cover Otyr's dead skin. Loki offered gold to Hræzlyr, but was cursed by the dwarf Andvari and the ring Andvaranaut. Fafnir killed his father Hræzlyr for gold, becoming a greedy dragon. Reginn did not get any gold and chose to train Sigurd. Later, he sent Sigurd to kill Fafnir, which he did successfully, but the blood from Fafnir gave him visions. He soon realized that he could understand the language of the birds, who warned about the true intentions of Reginn. Sigurd eventually kills Reginn and keeps the treasure. Reginn in God of War is one of the 3 chained dragons that need to be released by the player. It is unlocked by exploring Konungsgard, which itself is found out by doing the favor Hail to the King. In order to free the beast from its shackles, the player has to locate and destroy 3 shrines placed near the dwarven stronghold. The first shrine is easy to locate as it is placed right in front of the region. Finding the second shrine is comparatively challenging as it is another long journey through the door opposite to the dragon with Nornir symbols locking it. After ringing the 3 bells at the same time, the door will open where the hanging fire jar needs to be cut, which will fall on a couple of worms blocking the pathway to a gate. Once through the gate, a wooden bridge will be suspended by chains. The bridge needs to be lowered, and so the player has to cut the weakest link of the chain to make it happen. On the bridge towards the right side, there will be one of Odin's ravens and a lore marker. After a small gap, the path is obstructed by a dark elf and a couple of worms, which need to be terminated. Once the fight is over, there will be the final stronghold key as well as the second shrine that needs to be destroyed. Following this, there is the third shrine which has to be destroyed. This shrine is kept beneath the dragon. Finally, after destroying the third shrine, Reginn will be released. Reginn's gigantic size and vicious nature is lethal to its opponents, and Reginn could also breathe out fire from his mouth, making the beast even deadlier.
We're almost at the summit. Nothing's gonna stop us.
Calm yourself, boy, and stay behind me.
Yes, sir!
Hræzlyr. Hræzlyr is one of the largest boss dragons in God of War and resides in the heart of the highest peaks in Midgard. During Kratos' journey with his son Atreus, Hræzlyr attacks them on their way up the mountain. After a brief fight, the dragon retreats to the exterior only to find the dwarf Sindri and attack the smith. However, Atreus intervenes and Kratos engages in combat against the dragon. In the game, after returning from Alfheim, also known as the home of the elven races, Kratos and Atreus disperse the Black Breath and travel to the highest mountain of Midgard. Within the heart of the mountain, the player as Kratos will encounter a troll known as Jarnfotr, defeating whom will lead them to Hræzlyr. During the initial phase of the battle, Hræzlyr attacks with minor blows with his claws and teeth. The only way to overcome the obstacle is by dodging away the dragon's attacks and by aiming for his feet. After a brief continuation, Hræzlyr uses his lightning to blast the side of the mountain and escape. Kratos and Atreus then continue their journey. While making their way outside, they see the dwarf Sindri hiding behind a rock to defend himself from Hræzlyr. Kratos charges at Hræzlyr while Atreus takes charge of Sindri. This is the second encounter with the mighty dragon, and it attacks with claws, sends shockwaves, and discharges lightning. When Hræzlyr switched to the lightning attack, Kratos needed to find a solid sap of the tree located across the arena and throw it toward Hræzlyr when he charged up his lightning. This makes the tree explode near him and it significantly damages Hræzlyr. Following this, Hræzlyr would drop to the ground, after which Kratos would have to attack his face and finally kill the dragon. Post-death, Hræzlyr's teeth are used to imbue Atreus' bow with the dragon's electrical power. Compared to its size, Hræzlyr possessed an enormous amount of strength, stamina, and durability. His body is covered with durable scales. He could also spew lightning from his mouth, aiming at the sky to make lightning rain around him. The dragons in God of War have the ability to see dwarves while walking between realms, and so Hræzlyr spotted Sindri. Apart from his lightning breath, Hræzlyr used an inhale attack to draw Kratos towards him. He could stomp with both front claws to produce shockwaves.
Wait, Fafnir? Like, Fafnir's storeroom Fafnir?
The very one.
But Sindri said he was a dwarf.
He was. And now he's a dragon.
Fafnir. Fafnir, as mentioned earlier, according to Norse mythology, was the brother of Otr and Reginn. When Loki had mistakenly killed Otr, he was asked by Hreidmar to compensate for it by providing an enormous amount of gold to cover Otr's body. However, the gold generated greed in Fafnir and he killed his father for it. This transformed him into a dragon, a symbol of greed. Back then, Reginn mentored his apprentice and adopted son Sigurd and later became susceptible to greed. He sent Sigurd to kill Fafnir and reclaim the gold, but all that was short-lived as the birds informed Sigurd about Reginn's true motives of killing him, and so Sigurd killed Reginn as well. In the God of War game, Fafnir is one of the 3 chained dragons that need to be freed by destroying 3 shrines. To find Fafnir, the player needs to sail to a hidden beach between the Alfheim Tower and the Njord's Oarsman. Once reached, some golden rocks will be shot with shock arrows to climb to a higher vantage point, followed by more such rocks on the right, leading to a coffin containing Niflheim's cipher piece and a realm tear. 3 foes emerge, and after destroying them, the player gets to access the dust of the realms, which will take the player to a door in a higher area, where Fafnir is imprisoned. Similar to Reginn, there are 3 shrines that have to be destroyed in order to free Fafnir. The first one is near the main area, where 2 Draugrs have to be killed. There will be more, and once triumphed in defeating all of them, the players get access to the first dragon shrine. Along the right wall of the main area there is a waterfall, the top of which is the second shrine protected by a traveler and a Draugr. After destroying the second shrine, then comes the third one, which is relatively easier to find as it is placed in the main area itself. After destroying all 3 of them, Fafnir is released. Fafnir is huge in size and not an easy opponent to take down. He possesses poison breath.
Please don't eat us. Please don't eat us.
Alright, prepare yourself.
Otr. As mentioned previously, Otr was the sign of Hreidmar along with Reginn and Fafnir. He had the capability to alter his form at his will, which he mostly used to reshape into an otter greedily eating fish. Otr was accidentally killed by Loki, against which Hreidmar asked him to provide an enormous amount of gold to cover up Otr's skin. When the skin was covered, one whisker was protruding, for which Loki was compelled to give up the ring at Varanot to hide it, which was previously stolen and cursed by the fish dwarf Andvari. Soon, things started falling apart as the cursed gold developed greed in them, and they resorted to killing their family for the greed of it. Fafnir killed Hreidmar and later was killed by Sigurd, who also killed Reginn. In the game God of War, Otr is one of the chained dragons and needs to be located and freed as a side quest. In order to reach the site of Otr, one needed to visit Veithurgard, located east of the Lake of Nine. After reaching Veithurgard, the player needs to head south from the statue of Thor to the site where Otr is being held. There will certainly be a host of enemies, from Tatzelworms to Draugr, clearing which one can find the dragon-breathing lightning. Similar to the other 2 chained dragons, again 3 shrines need to be located and destroyed. The first shrine is present there itself, and it can be destroyed with the help of some Reavers, which pop up after defeating an enemy. For the second shrine, one needs to move toward the north in an opposite direction. After a while, there will be an enemy praying at the second shrine. The first 2 shrines are easy compared to the third one, which requires a lot of fighting. Towards east, one would find a massive broken bridge with an enormous gate on the third side. To reach the gate, many enemies need to be destroyed, finally reaching the third shrine. Dagsetr. Dagsetr at some point became the mount of god Baldur, being the fastest way of transporting for the Aesir. One day, under Odin's order, Baldur rode on Dagsetr to Midgard in order to hunt a wanted Jotun, as it was the only way to Jotunheim. Baldur again rode Dagsetr while kidnapping the son of Jotun to the battleground itself, where Baldur fought the boy's father. The vicious fight continued until Dagsetr's wings were wounded and he dropped down to the ground and died. Dagsetr's corpse landed adjacent to the World Serpent, which is exactly the place where Kratos and Atreus later arrived to collect a dragon tear. Dagsetr was usually covered with a custom-designed armor similar to Asgardian craftsmanship. He also had a helmet which sported 2 horns. Dagsetr had enormous wings which allowed him to soar high up in the sky. The dragon was never spotted in combat, so it is difficult to understand how he fought. Basilisk. Last on the list, we have Basilisk, whose origin can be traced to several different mythologies. As noted in the European bestiaries and legends, Basilisk was a legendary pet of the Serpent King who could kill anyone by just a single glance. According to Greek mythology, Basilisk had a serpentine body extended with rooster-like feathers. It was born from the egg of a toad that had been nested for 9 years before hatching when the Sirius constellation appeared in the sky. Basilisk appeared in the game God of War Chains of Olympus, which was also set in an alternate version of ancient Greece. In the plot, Attica, a war-torn city, is under attack by the Persian Empire and their pet dragon, Basilisk. In the first encounter, Basilisk is very similar to Hydra, as both the beasts swipe their heads in the same manner. Basilisk bore great similarities to the prehistoric Spinosaurus and Dimetrodon. It was a giant fire-breathing lizard-like monster with a sail upon its back, a spiked tail, and a membrane between its front and back legs. The Olympian gods then ordered Kratos to save Attica and kill the monster rampaging their cities. Just as he was fighting the Cyclops, Basilisk emerged and ate Cyclops and charged towards Kratos with the intention of eating him as well. Kratos managed to survive, and after an initial encounter, Basilisk fled into the city. Kratos killed the Persian king and encountered the beast on several occasions. To stop the beast, Kratos shot a flaming arrow and made it retreat to the city. At some point of time, Basilisk was afraid of Kratos, as the very sight of him made him retreat. Finally, when Kratos was leaving Attica, he found Basilisk and fought the beast for the final time. Just as the beast was about to exhale fire, Kratos jumped on its head and pulled its jaws shut, which caused its mouth to explode, burning it from the inside. Conclusion. God of War is undoubtedly one of the best action game series, winning several different awards, including several Game of the Year recognitions for the 2005 and 2018 installments. According to figures, till November 2020, the franchise has sold over 51 million copies worldwide. The secret to the success is their strong sales and support, which led to the franchise's expansion into other forms of media as well. There are 3 comic book series and 3 novels based on it. A film was also set to be made but got cancelled, and now a television series is on its way to be released on Amazon Prime. In all the games, the setting is in an alternate version of ancient Greece, and the animation is brilliant. The dragons are extremely prominent figures in the games and are magnificent in their appearance. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.